Hey traders and investors, it's Serge Berger here. Today, what we're going to take a look at is a couple of hints of how one can trade or at least get a better idea of what's going on in terms of the direction and risk of this current still escalating situation, geopolitical situation between Russia, Ukraine, and really what's now in sort of the West versus Russia kind of situation. Number one, before we look at a couple of charts and things to highlight there, it's important to make sure you do whatever belief you have in this situation is entirely, completely useless to trade. So please don't use your opinion, political or whatever staunch opinion you might have, as a trading tool. The market can react completely differently, and it'll blow you out of the water if you don't go with what price action is telling you. Okay, it's extremely important in this kind of in this type of situation with that geopolitical risk. So follow that. Then also understand that this at the very moment at least still is a bigger issue to Europe than it is to the US market. So look at the European markets. It matters, guys. We live in a global world. It's important to understand the global markets. So let's look at the Eurostoxx 50. This is like the blue chip index, sort of cross, pan-European. If you look at this index, you can see it has it very importantly made a lower high here in the beginning of July when the broader U.S. markets continue to ramp higher. It's also when the Russell 2000 sort of double topped. Okay, so that's not coincidental. That's pretty important. The Russell 2000 also tends to be a leading indicator. So that's just that. Then you can, for example, look at the CAC. This is French, the French blue chip index. Same thing, a lower high in early July. Okay, and now it's really dangling there. Look at the DAX. Of course, this is Germany's blue chip index. This didn't make a lower high, but it sort of triple topped or just kind of found resistance. Okay, look at for example Italy. This is the Italian index, and you can see here this one already sort of topped out in early June, then made a lower high in mid-June, and another lower high in July. So the, watch this index. It's extremely important, or these indices in Europe. Again, keep in mind that we live in a global world. It's extremely important to understand. You can't just look at the Dow. It's pretty useless. And even the S&P, obviously great index and everything, but that's not the only thing you want. So make sure you keep a global eye on this. That's extremely important. You can even look at the Russian market for all I care. Although I think here, having sort of a broader look at the European indices and how they're acting is probably more important. So again, keep this picture in mind. The Eurostoxx 50 is right at an important support area dating back to basically last summer, so it's summer 2013, which also coincides with the 200-day moving average. 200-day moving average, this red line has not been touched by this index really since basically when it broke higher, which is early July 2013. So just about a year and like a couple of weeks ago. Okay, that's extremely important. If this line snaps in any good way, the stock, the broader market and the U.S. market will definitely be heading higher, lower as well. Hope this makes sense, guys. If you got any questions, you can hit me up on Twitter. My Twitter handle is SteadyTrader, and I'll see you in the next video.